I'm not the only one.
Yes, I do call you a liar. A liar from the basest, the most mercenary motives. You told me your child was a boy.
You exaggerate trifles.
I admit I had been told my child was a girl, but for anything I knew, my child was a boy. You know what women are like these days. Absolutely unreliable. I was merely, as it were, hoping for the best. Have you not just returned from viewing the body?
Now we're at an inquest.
And I saw a kind of vermilion blob, and I was given to believe that what I beheld was a human nose. But before I could satisfy myself on even that minor point, I was told to leave it. Ada mustn't be excited.
I hope you'll all acquit me of any desire to take part in this scene, but do I gather, Mr. Gower, that George has attempted to deceive you as to the sex of his offspring?
Do gather, Mrs. Stanton. You emphatically do gather.
George, I'm surprised at you, I really am. To think that your poor dear wife should have gone through what she has gone through this day, and you were not satisfied. Then you wanted a son that you would train up in your own sinful habits of blasphemy, self-indulgence and deceit. Well, all I can say is I'm glad, profoundly glad, that it is a girl.
Mrs. Stanton, so am I. You have a truly noble mind.
And what could have been the object of such childish deception? Even you must have seen that it couldn't last, that there would come a time when this dreadful secret would reach your kind good uncle's heirs.
I will tell you his object, Mrs. Stanton. As you may possibly have heard, I am an industrious and painstaking person. I work hard and I live plainly. By the exercise of those gifts, which heaven has been pleased to grant me, I have accumulated a fortune. Some would call it a large fortune. I merely call it a fortune. I dare say I'm worth £100,000. You might imagine that possessing this and clear conscience I am happy. But there is another and darker side to the picture, which I'm endeavoring to paint, Mrs. Stanton. I am cursed. Continually cursed, despite what George is pleased to consider my advanced age, with an impulse. The impulse of absurd generosity. Acting under this impulse, about 6 months ago, when George imparted to me the information, I said, George, your child is a boy. I will settle 10,000 on him. You see, boys are so helpless. The boy can't marry a rich husband, can't make his own clothes, can't, if the worst comes to the worst, go out as well as help. That is why I said, if it's a boy, I will settle £10,000 on your child. So there's no obligation to make this offer. I acted more from impulse. Impulse of absurd generosity. How does George repay me? By lying to me. And what is worse, his sister to lie to me. In order to obtain a paltry £10,000, he is willing to stain his honour with a lie. You, Mrs. Stanton, characteristic insight and common sense, but once put your finger on the most despicable aspect of this painful affair. The lie was useless, futile, silly.
George, did your wife know of your uncle's offer?
No, I said nothing to her. I thought it would worry her.
That's perfect, too, Helen. He said so to me himself.
Well, I do not approve of secrets between husband and wife. It would have been better if you told dear Rita.
What difference would it have made? Uncle only made the offer.
Who knows? Oh, George.
As for you, May, you have pained me beyond expression.
Now, as I have been dragged into this, shall I say, difficulty, let me end it for you. You know, I always think it's such a pity to allow a quarrel to grow. We should stamp it out in the bud. George, and you, May, you must beg your uncle's pardon I am sure he will grant it.
Willingly. Very well then. If there is to be such a fuss over a mere nothing, a momentary forgetfulness, excusable, I should have thought, in a man suffering the first pangs of fatherhood, then I apologize. I beg pardon. I grovel.
If Uncle can take any pleasure in the self-abasement of a fellow creature, and that fellow creature a woman, I also grovel.
There, that's all right. Shake hands. There, it's all done with and forgotten. A little tact, I invariably found, is all that is necessary in these affairs, and I'm sure I'm very glad to have been of assistance. And now on, Francis. I may call you Uncle? You will write out the check.
Check.
The check for £10,000.
Check for
I'm not going to withhold it. Especially after George and May have apologised so prettily. I'm sure I'm going to cast a slur, as it were, upon my niece and my poor dear sister who has behaved so splendidly today.
You surely aren't going to.
My dear Uncle, you surely aren't.
George, is your child a boy, or is it not?
I'm informed that he isn't, that she isn't.
And on what possible ground can you claim my £10,000? Allow me to remark, I've not the slightest intention of parting with it.
Mr. Gower, I am deeply disappointed in you. Look, common humanity alone.
Uncle, you have pained me beyond expression.
My poor wife, innocent babe.
Well, may be to its owner a blessing or a curse. Alas, I fear it is too often the latter. It hardens the heart, blunts the finer susceptibilities, and transforms into a fiend. What under more favourable circumstances may once have been a human being. You know, I noticed the same phenomena in my own children when Ernest gives them a sixpence.
By Jove, it's 8 o'clock. I should be late for dinner.
Go and consume dainties out of season and drink expensive wines while your own flesh and blood eat the bread of sorrow. Center more your thoughts on yourself. Shut your eyes to the grief and the suffering that surrounds you. Think only of your carnal appetite. There is the rich man all over.
Trample on us. Drag the juggernaut of your gold across our defenseless bodies. What is the shriek of pain, the moan of anguish to you, so long as your millions increase and multiply?
Now, Helen, you see my uncle, my so-called uncle, in his true colours.
I do, George. I do. And I cannot bear the sight. I will go to my poor dear sister who is to be robbed of £10,000 for a mere indiscretion. I must try to comfort her as best I can. It will be a fearful shock to the poor thing. It might even kill her. But in the end, she must be told.
True, the news may kill her, but as you say, she must be told.
I will do my best to comfort her. I can't say more. We must hope for the best.
Her you may comfort, but who shall pour balm to the wounds of my defenseless child, whose career is blasted, so to speak, before it has cut its first tooth?
You may well ask, George, but you ask in vain. Wealth has no ear for the wail of an infant. Wealth is preoccupied with its dinner.
Uncle, are you quite determined?
Yes, mate. I fear I am, and I insist on being allowed to depart.
Oh no! Do let us keep you from your repast!
Possibly. I say possibly. I may repeat my offer. If at some future time, you, George that is, Ada should have a boy. I have noticed that some parents have large families in which both sexes are
And that's a
represented.
frail hope, probably delusive. I think George at Ealing has had 9 daughters.
I thank you, Uncle, but I'm afraid I shall be in a position to avail myself of your offer. Helen, we must resign ourselves.
We must.
Yes.
But sight. Oh, Mr. Gould, we freely forgive you. Personally, I shall pray.
Yes, we feel it our duty to forgive you. Dear Helen will pray for you.
Before leaving, Mr. Gower, you really must come upstairs to see the baby. Oh, she's a charming little creature. Get him upstairs.
I do not doubt it. But I really prefer to be excused.
But Lady said she was rushing you were to watch. She was in great wish to see her baby, her firstborn. Must really know anything dear is.
I should charm you when it is a little bigger.
Surely you will not disappoint, dear Ada. Surely you don't bear malice.
I would rather.
Come on. We'll all go.
Yes, we'll accompany you. You needn't be afraid.
Not tonight. Some other time.
Come on.
George, I will not. The two great rules of my life are never tend a sick room and never handle babies. And you asked me to break both at once.
Stop. The man's shy, actually. Make him come, George.
No, George, I entreat. Once handle the baby.
Well?
I dropped it.
Did it die?
No, but sometimes wished it had.
Who was it?
It was you, George. Your mother fainted.
Oh. You dropped me, did you? Was I injured for life? Maimed? Crippled?
Happily not.
And a good thing for you! Come on now, I'll teach you to drop me and make my mother faint.
Excuse me. I pray you to excuse me. Give a good deal to me out of this.
How much would you give her?
Would you give £10,000?
Oh, feel it coming. It. My impulse of extravagant generosity. Oh, my terrible charitableness. There.
Perhaps pen and ink would help assuage the agony.
Perhaps.
Pay George Gower
£10,000.
Now it's
Understand? I don't have to see that baby till it's 6 months old. And I don't have to see it till it's a year. No, 2 years old.